half tracks and honeybees. We're going to do part 5 of our building Bertha series, and here we go. It's just a video showing one of the early startups and backing out. This is the cool disc brake for the parking brake, the high-tech gas can, the bungee cord. She don't have a muffler right now either, so she's sounding kind of ruckish. There's that disc brake I was talking about. You didn't know they had disc brakes back in 1941, did you? Oh, good leadership there. Crunch. If you hear a little noise every now and then that sounds like the fan hitting the shroud, that was actually the fan hitting the shroud. I had some old rear motor mounts that I used that were letting the motor move around too much. I had to replace that with some heavier dutier models, and so the motor couldn't wiggle around. You see the wiring harness dangling in the back, what goes to all the rear lights and the gas tank. The gas tanks, one on each side. This was pretty fun riding around. It's always exciting firing up something after you've had it in a million pieces and then riding around in it. Riding around with my son. Out through a field. My son's not doing very good at showing out the windshield. He's just kind of videoing his feet. Notice the little bitty short drive shaft too. It's kind of funny. A half track is just a really short wheelbase truck, and they added the whole rear bogie system to it for the rear box. Very simple, very easy to work on for the young men that were drafted into World War II. A bunch of farm boys. Make it simple. Got some good video of the latch on the dash.
That's high range and we're in second gear. Yeah, notice you almost stopped down there. You put it in third and it looks like a tractor. The gear only determines how fast you go.
Okay, we're getting ready to start with some photos here. First couple will be of the exhaust system that I wrapped in the heat stuff so the heat didn't come up through the floorboards so much. There's a turtle hanging out with the bogies. Door armor. It's like part of the lights. Here I am kicked back, figuring out what I do next. Here we are installing the front louvers that go over the radiator. That's the color number of the paint I used. It was good stuff. I was happy with that. The brace that goes behind the armor in front of the radiator. There's the felt that goes around the engine, the hood panels, help seal them up. few shots of the louvers. There's some of the mechanism on the side that goes back to the handle in front of the co-driver to open and close them. There's the handle. All the way back is open, all the way forward is closed. Notice that hole there in the front where the drive shaft comes through for the winch, the PTO. There's a bunch of the pieces, parts for the lights and the door latches and some hinges. Those are the pedestals for the lights. Some of the mini hinges that the half track has on it. Was the fair lane and a little trailer I have to go with the Jeep. Here's a little thing I used to dangle parts on to prime and paint them. Came in very handy. There's the wrapped muffler that you saw earlier. You can see that's right under the seat, so it gets a little toasty. There's a main power switch, the back side of it. There's the exhaust. Just some shots of Bertha in the shop. Some door armor laying back on the tracks. There's some of the hood armor with it closed and the latches on the sides. There's a bunch of hinges that go all over the place, laid out on the tracks. It's got 3 or 4 different kinds of hinges, makes it confusing. A bunch of the flat 3/8 by 24 bolts and lock nuts on everything. Putting the windshields in, that was the seal behind the windshield. There's the little pistol port on one of the side doors. Painting some more parts. You see the little windshield wiper motors there, vacuum operated. Yeah, the windshield's not in place yet. You can see the little L brackets that hold it once it goes in place. There's a wiper motor. Some of the door armor going on. I always liked these NOS parts that had the little tags with them. A lot of this stuff was packed back in the 40s. Art Deco door handle. It's kind of interesting. There's the pouch where the lubrication instructions go, the schedule. There's the pieces of the hood before I assembled it. There's one of the pieces of side armor. No, that's the plate that goes in front of the windshield. There's the little stands that hold up the half-inch windshield armor. There's the hood armor. I put all that together and then lifted it up with my gantry crane and put it on in one piece. You'll see that here shortly, I believe. Engine, radiator, everything's in place. Back to the hood armor. Okay, there we are. Got it all tied up. Here we are lifting it. Getting ready to set that in place. The gantry crane was great. It let me do pretty much everything by myself. There we go. She's starting to look pretty good. Lots of these little socket flatheads. Not socket, but slotted flatheads. Everything's starting to look pretty good on the interior. There's a cool shot from the back. Got the shovel in place there on the side. That's that flat armor under the windshield. Oh boy, got some new boxes delivered. This is going to be a gas tank and the pulpit for the 50 cal. There's the pulpit. There's the ring that goes in the pulpit where the trolley goes for the 50 cal. Using the tractor to pick up everything out of the boxes. Bertha, she looks kind of clunky right now, but we're getting there. Here's the pulpit in the shop. You see it's all nice and primered. That's the gas tank. I've got one original gas tank that has the rubber lining. It's never been used. The gas tank that you saw in the picture is the one I actually use. Holds 30 gallons. That's the universal for the drive shaft to the PTO that goes to the winch. The windshield armor going on. That was a heavy little piece. And there you can see the stands for the windshield armor that hold it in place. You got 2 pistol ports. Windshields have to be out before you can lower the armor, so most of the guys during the war just ran around without the windshields. Just a lot easier that way. There's the winch. It's funny, some of the military manuals call it a 10-ton winch, but if you look at Tulsa, well, the Tulsa calls it a 10-ton winch. Military manuals call it half that much, so a 10,000-pound winch. Either way, it's a big winch. Some of the Pioneer tools. Having to be creative to try to loosen a bolt on the back. That's a big connector for the cable on the winch that I ended up not using. Here we are picking up the winch to put it in place. Another shot of the muffler for some reason. Lots of brake cleaner. There's the, looks like the bearings out of the universal for the winch. Yeah, I was going to use that connector, but it just wouldn't work with that 5/8 inch cable. That's the drive. That was the drive shaft coming through for the winch. That's our chain that goes on the end of the cable. There we are, got the winch in place. There's the drive shaft coming through. Comes through the radiator too. I've showed you that earlier, the little window in the corner of the radiator that the drive shaft comes through. There's the protector for the gearbox on the winch. There it is in place. Here we are starting to wind the cable on. It holds about 220 foot of 5/8 inch cable. A lot of cable. Okay, there's the cable in place. Like I said, that's a whole lot of cable. That was fun winding that on. But we're about to the end of it. A few more shots of the winch and the cable. Then we got a couple of shots just to remind everybody what we started with. Here we were in the barn. And here's how we ended up. Well, that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed that. We'll be back before long with part 6. Y'all take care.